Hello and welcome back to my garden. Today I'm going to be doing something which is a continuation of something I started doing the other week, and I don't know what the title of this video is going to be, so you may already know. We're going to be doing some repotting of my hellebores. When I first moved to North Carolina, I had hellebores in New York and I wanted hellebores down here. Foolishly, I didn't take into account how much shade they actually need, and I didn't even think about where the sun lands on this property or which way the sun moves, and that was all my fault. It's a total novice move. What you should do is spend some time in your new property or your new land, whatever it is, and see where the sun falls during the various seasons, see where your shady spots are in the garden. And I failed to do that, really. Not the end of the world. What I did was I took my hellebores and I put them into pots, and I kept the hellebores on the back deck for the first winter, and actually every winter since. And during the summertime, when it starts getting really hot out and that sun becomes stupid intense, I put them kind of under the deck a little bit so they get a whole lot more shade. But I've had these hellebores now in pots for about 4 years. And if you watched my video from a few weeks ago, or if you haven't, please go back and watch it. And I took 3 of them and I put them into my shady driveway border. That border wasn't as shady nor developed when I first moved in. Actually, there was no border there. It was just grass right up to the foundation. Anyways, I put the 3 hellebores there because now the space is ready for them. And I thought about putting the rest of my hellebores. I have 4 left, and I thought about putting them into that border as well. But then I would miss seeing those flowers from inside the house, or when I exit the back door, right there at the back door on my deck. So the only thing left for me to really do then is to repot these hellebores. If you grow hellebores in pots, please let me know in the comments below. The first one here I have is Ice and Roses, and I'll try to put the pictures up here as I do these. And don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with the whole repotting process. But what I do want to do is show you what some of these plants look like. And if I can only find a shovel, I'll take this one. I have no idea where the roots are. The roots actually don't seem to be spread all that far. I'm almost surprised. I thought this would be a whole lot more pot bound. Now this one earlier in the year I thought was actually dead because all the top growth was gone and it was stupid hot out. So I just thought it basically just dried up in the pot, but I couldn't keep the pot moist enough. All right, so here we go. Hopefully the camera focuses on this. This just grew within the last month. Got some stupid weeds here hanging on the top. And this is the root system that it's got, which isn't too bad. I honestly thought being in a pot for about 4 years, it would have been a whole lot more pot bound, but maybe this variety doesn't do that. I just have roots falling off here. There's more roots here that are just falling off. Okay, so after teasing a lot of the roots off, apparently what it looks like is that this is, well, it looks like this is all that's left. So we have this new growth here and then these roots. What I'm thinking is that the plant went through sort of a division and all those other roots maybe died off due to age. This is what I've got. So this is Ice and Roses. So there'll be plenty of room now in the pot for it to grow out. So now this guy is all potted up here, as you can see, and there's the label over here. So I'll give this a good thorough watering, and hopefully it starts looking a lot better, or it puts on more growth over the course of the winter. Hellebores is yet another plant along the long list of plants I need to really learn about. You can Google something and you could just read the back of a plant tag, but it's not the same as having a thorough understanding of the plant, its growth habits, that kind of thing. So if you guys know any good reading material and or websites or YouTube videos that cover hellebores extensively, please leave those comments below. Next up is Pink Frost. And this one is also another not so great looking hellebore. Although, again, as the cooler temperatures arrive, it may start looking a whole lot better. But either way, it's been in the pot way too long. Let's get it out of the pot and then repot it. Now this one, even though it didn't look great on top, has got a lot of roots. In fact, there were quite a few roots that were on the bottom of the pot that were black, so they were old and dead or rotten. Either way, I pulled those off already. I think I'm going to trim a lot of this back, and theoretically, it should invigorate it to push out more roots. Hypothetically, if I'm wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, please leave those comments below. I'm not going to trim it all the way back up to here, probably just a little bit like down here. So again, this way it should stimulate it. Either way, let me get this potted up. If I didn't mention, this is Pink Frost. So this one's now all potted up and ready to go. Next up, one of my favorites, a double white, great white double. Okay, so here's this one. This one was very pot bound, and I tried to thin out as much of the roots as I can, hopefully not causing too much damage to the plant. Yeah, let me get this potted up and we'll cross our fingers and hope it does flower this year. Here it is, all potted up. Again, this was great white double. And last but not least, and this one's got, I would say, almost the most growth, winter plum. So this one's winter plum. So let me get this one taken out of the pot and see what happens. Now this one was as bad as I feared all of them were going to be. This is super root bound. The whole thing was just a mass of roots. I could barely tease out any of these roots. I've gone so harsh on this thing right now. I'm worried that it won't survive. There's going to be quite a bit of transplant shock here, I'm sure. If you guys want to take any bets, place your bets below. But I mean, there's roots right to the top. That's how pot bound this thing was. They were growing on the surface here. The whole thing was just so root bound. So this is as good as I've gotten the root ball. Teasing wise, trying to get these roots out, try to fluff them out again. And hopefully now it'll put on new growth and it'll survive. Like I said, place your bets below. Let me get this potted up. Well, here's this one. A lot of new growth on top, and I'm tempted to cut it off or cut it back, but it is brand new growth. So I'm hopeful that those roots will take quickly. It is supposed to be warm over the next few weeks, and if I keep it relatively moist, hopefully, maybe, possibly, it survives. So there we go. I repotted my potted up hellebores. We went from one that had 2 roots to one that was super pot bound, and then a few in between. And hopefully now that they're all in fresh new potting soil, they all do very well. Now this potting soil that I'm using, I've mentioned before in other videos, and it's not sponsored. It's called Daddy Pete's Sea and Farm. It has composted cow manure, peat moss, aged pine bark fines, perlite, sandy loam, oyster shell organic, fish meal, crab meal, shrimp meal, earthworm castings, fossilized bat guano, and kelp meal. So it is a super nutritious mix that I shouldn't have to add anything to for at least until next summer. They should have all the nutrients that they need throughout the winter. I just saw a thing on the YouTubes via the news, and then they were saying that this winter we're supposed to be drier than normal because of La Nina and warmer than normal. You know, they're just talking a few degrees or a little, you know, again, this is all averages. We could still get 3 days of straight downpours giving us 8 inches of rain and then nothing for the next month or so. You know, this is how it goes. But these are all thoroughly watered in. Hopefully these all survive. And hopefully I'm showing you guys beautiful hellebore flowers come December, January. If you guys have any questions, comments, etc., please leave them below. If you guys have any helpful hints, please leave them below, or any good sources of material, a book, a website, or YouTube video where they give more education on hellebores, because it is definitely something I should educate myself on so I can better take care of my hellebores. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. You guys know the drill. Check out all those links below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click on the bell icon to be notified when I do post up my new video. I think that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.